Welcome to Team Space Constellation versus Team Space Nebula. This is going to be a best of 5 map scrim. What we know a little bit about these teams is that Team Space Constellation, Team Space Nebula are both sub-teams of Team Space. They were both separated for kind of advertising reasons, seeing as they are New Zealand teams after all. Now, looking at the lineup here, we don't really know too much about these players, but we do know is what the comps are going to be running. So, we see over here on Team Space Constellation that they are going to be running the 2-2-2 lineup, which is always great. We got the Diva to deal with, 76, that sort of stuff. But the problem with that is Team Nebula seems to be running with not a 76, so that Diva won't have as much usefulness as she has. Now, looking at Oasis, I'm pretty sure both of these teams, a lot of teams, most likely, have not practiced this map at all, so we're going to be seeing both teams coming in blind. We see Team Constellation trying to take this ground as soon as possible as Team Nebula try to take up on the high ground. Team Constellation, taking this low ground isn't going to be very good for them, as Slips does try to knock a few people off there. Team Constellation trying to get up in this little high spot. Slips knocking off Grasshopper, good job by him. Armor trying to knock a few people off for himself, but not really able to get anything like that. Good plays there by Team Constellation, as we see Warfare flanking around the side here. Team Constellation is doing quite a lot of damage, pushing all of Team Nebula into this choke, as Armor does get caught out in this situation. Galfog ends up going to sleep. Looks like this first point will be going to Team Constellation. What we saw a lot of there was Team Constellation just getting the right picks at the right time. They didn't even really kill anyone. Well, now here comes the kills, as this team fight does seem to continue, as the disengage wasn't the best from Team Nebula, but nobody got really picked. Team Nebula knew when to disengage there, but did get a few members caught out. Team Constellation seems to be taking up this high ground. The high ground on this map can be very powerful for this point, seeing as it also counts as a capture point and it's high ground. Oh, and here comes the hook from Fallen Shackle, catching onto Slips. Slips managing to get away there just by the skin of his teeth. And this fight seems to be going a little bit underway as Galfon jumps down. Looks like he's going to be resetting his position there as Warfare gets a little bit caught out. He might end up going down here as he tries to run away. A few members of Team Constellation getting a little bit separated here as Team Nebula do seem to scatter around this point and trying to take the high ground, which they are not having that much use taking, as the Earth Shatter does come out from Galfia, managing to get a kill on Pyropress. And Nano Boost coming out on Galfia here as well. Whole Hog coming out from Fallen Shackle and the Nano Boost on Armor, trying to pick up their own kills. Galfor and Slips, the only two members left on point, but they seem to be able to take this out for themselves, looking like Team Constellation taking this point once again. Good plays by them. We saw in that team fight was a good use of ult usage, as members of Team Space and Team Constellation were popping ults there, but it did look like it came out in the hands of Constellation. But that is also leaving Team Nebula with the ult advantage here of Armor's ult, the bomb. Fallen Shackle picking up a kill on Warfare, so that might mean that Team Nebula are able to initiate here, as they do try to take this high ground, but Team Constellation are holding a good hold here, but Nebula trying to push him here. A charge coming in from Nebula, but Fallen Shackle does pick up a kill, same with Grasshopper. A few members on Constellation do go down, and looks like this fight will be switching around in Team Nebula's favor. We didn't even see any ults coming out there. That was a nice take by Nebula there, seeing as they did not expend any ults to be able to take that point. So, good plays by Nebula there. Now we're looking over at Team Constellation's ult. They're going to have quite a few ults up quite soon. That's going to mean a lot for them, since they have that CC from Gallifore. They're going to have that bomb from Slips. There could be a combo there. Also the combo from I'm QWERTY, as Team Constellation do try to take this high ground up here. We see Team Nebula trying to get that damage out on the shield. Same Grasshopper. Out comes the initiation. Out comes the double Earth Shatter, whiffing from Nebula. But Team Constellation does get their charge in there, as Gulfall is caught in the back line. And Team Constellation winning their little fights. Out comes the self-destruct sequence from Slips. Look at that pick-up kill. Gets a kill on Bacon. That's a heavy impact kill, seeing as that armor's gone down. A few members all caught up in different places. Constellation looking like they're coming out a bit on top as this little battle from Nebula. Out comes the Graviton Surge from air there, but the sound barrier does come out from Constellation, making sure they're able to take this point and the win, unless Nebula is able to delay here, which Grasshopper does look like he's trying to do. Gelford completely whiffs his ult so there's going to come out the Nano Boost on Grasshopper, but it is not enough, seeing as Team Constellation will be taking this first round on Oasis. Yeah. So, what we saw there is good use of positioning, disengages and re-engages, and ult usage coming out from Team Constellation. They were really able to get, maximize a lot on their sort of situation that they were in every single fight, and use it to the best of their ability. Now looking on the second Oasis map, we have the 3-layered map, so this is going to be quite an advantage for the Pharah, yes. And now that Team Nebula is running this Pharah, it is going to be they're going to take advantage of a lot of those high grounds, and like, seeing as they have this underground area, it doesn't seem that useful, but it is good for an escape technique if you do get caught out in a bad position. We're going to be seeing both teams coming in here. The only really difference of both teams, well, no, this Nebula is now switched off of that Pharah. They will not be running that, so it's pretty much the same comp all around. We see the fight erupting up top here. Now comes a nice anti-heal on all of Team Nebula, as Team Constellation does manage to pick up quite a lot of damage here. Galfor going off the edge himself. There was a good bump by Armor. Looks like this fight will be coming in the hands of Constellation. It does seem quite even, but they do have quite a lot of key members alive on Team Constellation. They will be taking the points, but in comes members from Team Nebula, so they were able to contest this, so Constellation are not able to get it. Nebula doing a good job at being able to stay quite defensive in these situations, and being able to hold this point. Looks like it's going to be turning in the favor of Team Nebula, as another team fight will erupt here. Grasshopper picking up a kill on Alpha Kiwi and Zeref, so that's a good job by them. Nebula really taking advantage of these picks and pushing all of Constellation back as they disengage from this fight. What we saw there was a situation where Constellation did manage to get quite an advantage on that fight. Galfa going down probably is what lost them the point there, but Nebula were able to capitalize on that situation. But now, we do see Nebula holding up on this high ground. That does mean if Constellation does come down on this lower point, they will have to come down to initiate. And looks like Slip's getting himself hooked there. Not really going down, but managing to stay alive by the good help of Zeref there, keeping him alive. We see a flank coming in from Galfor, managing to catch a lot of members of Team Nebula in that Earth Shatter. And the Nano Boost coming out on Slips, looking to be able to do quite a bit of damage. Fallen Shackle does pop out his whole hog, managing to pick up a few things, but looks like that's both self-destructs are going to waste, seeing as they were able to easily dodge. This fight is underway, still going on with Team Constellation, Team Nebula looking quite balanced in this situation. Down goes I'm Qwerty and Alpha Kiwi. Good plays by Team Nebula as they try to solidify this hold with that sound barrier, but it looks like Grasshopper getting caught out in a bad situation. Looks like a Earth Shadow was popped out there from Grasshopper, not really able to do that much. Kind of wasted. In comes Team Constellation for the re-engage, as they are looking for a few members to come back in, allowing time for Fallen Shackle, Grasshopper to come back on this point. Looks like Team Constellation are taking this high ground here, being able to take it off the enemy team. It is quite a good thing. I'm trying to look for a few people to knock off. Alpha Kiwi managed to pick up 2 kills with a boot off the edge. Getting punished by Grasshopper though. Looks like Constellation are going to win this fight as they have more members alive. That was a very good job coming out from Alpha Kiwi. Good job by them. With 89% left on the clock for Nebula, Team Constellation does end up taking that point. If Team Nebula does take this point back with a nice clear, they don't have as many ults, that might not be possible. But if they do get that clear, then that's going to mean quite a lot, because they will be able to instantly take all the way to 99%. So, we're going to be seeing another fight coming in here with Constellation, with a lot more of the ults. Well, I'm wondering who's going to be initiating first, as a few members of Nebula do try to bleed their way up to the top here, getting a couple kills on some key members. Alpha Kiwi does go down, so that means there's going to be one less healer for this fight. Zeref caught out in a bit of a bad position, trying to disengage here, almost getting hooked. Good job by a Fallen Shackle, but not able to really capitalize on that situation. We see 2 fights going on right here. We're going to see Fallen Shackle getting caught out of position here, and Slips getting caught out of position by Grasshopper with that Flame Strike. Another initiation will be starting here, but keep in mind that Constellation does have this ult advantage. They will have more to work on. Out comes the self-destruct sequence, and I'm Qwerty caught in a bad position. Down comes I'm Qwerty, completely wasting his ult. There comes the tactical visor from both teams trying to make good initiation of it, but it looks like AR does manage to get that Nano Boost on top with that. Out comes the Nano Boost. Catching a few members of Nebula in that situation where they are caught out of position with that Earth Shatter. Grasshopper getting that Nano Boost on him, not really being able to do too much. Managed to get actually a kill. Galfor getting a few people there. Looks like this fight is kind of in the hands of... Oh god, it's not really able to tell what's happening in the situation. There is a lot of scattered fights here as Galfa tries to return to his team, picking up that kill on AA along the way. Fallen Shackle getting in that hook, but not really capitalizing on it, seeing as he does not have the team members to do it. Armor coming around the back, trying to pick up that kill on Galfor, seeing as he's anti-heal, but he does back out down through that situation. Both Reinhardts having their own little duel down here as one of them tries to disengage from this situation, knowing that it's not going to be that good for them. Baker trying to delay the point here, but looks like the second game will be going to Constellation. Good job by Constellation there. Really able to take it. Wait. I'm sorry. Team Nebula taking that point. Got mixed between the names. Team Nebula managing to take that second round. Looks like it's going to be a close game between these two. I'm not sure if it's best of 5 or best of 3. We'll see that coming through here depending on which team wins. Now on the final map of Oasis here. This map is often known for this jump pad, which a lot of teams do seem to use, but looking clearly at the map, doesn't really seem to give you that much of an advantage besides that high ground, because you can instantly come around this situation. We don't see any roster changes coming from both teams, looking to keep this sort of team comp. Both teams looking very confident in the way that they're running them. We see Team Nebula coming in on this side. Looks like Team Constellation are going to be able to try to take this high ground here, looking to see if they can make use of this jump pad. However, Team Nebula does have that position on point, so they will be able to hold that much better for when that control point comes down. Team Constellation will have to give up that high ground and jump down, come into the enemy team. Right now we're sort of in the damage picking phase where both teams are looking for a pick. Now it looks like Constellation are coming down, quite scattered around this point, coming around their own positions. We did see Galfor getting hooked there, but being able to keep it alive. Good job by Zeref, keeping his team alive. Down goes Galfor from a nice kill by Grasshopper. We see quite a lot of scattered fights coming along here, looking like they're coming out in the way of Nebula. Grasshopper quite low here. If Alpha Kiwi is able to take him out, no, he does not. With that anti-heal, could have really capitalized on that, but this fight will be going to Nebula once again, as they have a good solid hold. Slips caught out of position, but Nebula does take this point. Looking at the team ult economy, it looks like Nebula are far and away of ults, having gonna have that CC out much earlier. Out comes the hook from Fallen Shackle, getting deeper out of the mech. That's going to be very crucial for this next fight, if it does re-engage anytime soon, if Slips isn't able to get his mech back. Looks like Team Constellation are rotating once again to take this high ground. We saw last time it didn't really do too much for them, but it looks like they're going to have to come down to initiate here. We see Zeref with his ult already, and we're going to see lots of members of Nebula with their ult in a second. Grasshopper with his, so that CC is going to be very helpful. Warfare holding up in this high ground here, quite a weird position, but it will come in a lot of handy, seeing as he's not able to take that much damage. Out comes the charge from Grasshopper, picking up the kill on Iron Qwerty, getting anti-heal himself. Out comes the Earth Shatter, not really picking up anything, getting anti-heal. Out comes both Nano Boost. Galfor picking up that Earth Shatter on multiple members, but does end up getting picked down because of that charge, not able to hold up his shield. Nebula look like they're taking this battle once again. Too many picks coming out from Nebula on Team Constellation, so they're not able to really deal with this situation. Slips looking in a bad position, almost getting taken out of the mech. Does get taken out of the mech, however, so they're going to have that a weaker push coming into the next round. Team Nebula did a very good job in holding a lot of their ults in that situation. They will be able to have them all for the next fight, but looking at the ults, on Team Constellation's side, they do have I'm Qwerty's ult and Warfear's ult, two offensive ults, which may do a lot of damage and be very good for these picks. As we see Team Nebula sort of move off of the point, this gives Constellation a situation where they can move onto it and start capping a little bit, but Nebula smart enough to know to zone them off of the situation, as Constellation do try to move on to this point, managing to capture a little bit of time, as Team Nebula does have 93 seconds of call. Oh, out comes I'm Qwerty's ult, managing to that High Noon picking up 2 kills for himself. That's looking quite good. Out comes the tactical advice by AAA and Fallen Shackle. That whole hog looking to do quite a lot of damage, as they end up doing. Galfor caught all alone. Out comes the self-destruct by Nebula. Not really picking up anything there. AAA and Pyrophos picking up their kills. Looking very good on Team Nebula. Slit trying to delay this point, trying to hide around this little corner, but does get hooked by Fallen Shackle and is going to be coming out of the mech here. Galfor, oh sorry, I thought he was live, but no, he's out. He's down the corner. Both teams looking to delay this point. Team Nebula looking to hold this situation as the fight number erupts here. Grasshopper and AA managing to get their kills out. They're looking to be taking this point and the round. That will be first round going to Team Nebula. Good job by Team Nebula here against Team Constellation. They did put up a nice hold, but Team Nebula do look far more disciplined with their positioning there. We'll be coming into the best of 5 maps with the first round taken by Nebula. We'll be back shortly, and we'll see you all then.